Hi, we're getting ready to start. Hey guys, how you guys doing? I'll give people a couple minutes to come in here. Oh, my mom got a phone call. Hello. Yeah, she's here. My mom is here. She just got a phone call. She's going in the other room. How's everybody doing? Hold on, I'm walking out of the room. Here, she's like, hold on, I'm walking out of the room. Just when I hit live, the phone started ringing. So we'll give a minute for everybody to come in here. I did find a couple of videos I wanted to watch today. One of them I seen the other day, and I'm like, oh my God, I got to show this to them. It's from a news clip, so it's very short. I just have to make sure, even though it's like a minute and a half, I got to make sure I stop it a couple times so I don't get copyrighted. And I was going to put a thing on there, about copyrights or whatever, but I couldn't find where the wording was, even though I see it all over the place. But once I look for it, I can't find it. So if you're in here, say hi. Oh, my Microsoft Edge just said, I'm live. I've never had that pop up before. That's funny. Oh, I got to put it on my phone too. So that's okay. I'll give other people a minute to come in here. So anyways, I got that one video. And then right next to that one, I seen another one, something about a cop or whatever experienced something with a paranormal. I'm not sure. So I figured we could play that one also. And I got a couple things planned up ahead of time. But I just need time to plan it. A few things I want to do. Just that our big holidays this weekend, and I'm really busy preparing for that. And so, and plus some other things. Oh, hi Nessie. Hi Tiffany. Hi B. Hi Hopi. How you guys doing? So, so next week I'm gonna try to get something special to come in here. I haven't talked to her about it yet. When, but she got something that's haunted. Okay, an object that is very cool. And so that's all I'm going to say about it, because I want you guys to hear the story and everything about it. It's very cool. Oh, you did? Oh, actually, yeah, I seen it. I think I responded back. I didn't know who it was when they first messaged me. I'm like an airhead. So I see that there's a few people in here. So anyways, if you're here, please like the page. So I want, before we get started and get a couple minutes in here. Hey, Tony, how are you? I wanted to talk about something there. Hi, Shell. How are you, sweetheart? I was just saying I got a couple little clip it videos I want to show. And then after that, anybody that wants to come up on panel and talk about their experiences, they can. I know Tony a lot of times will come up. Well, I don't know a lot of times, but I know she has before. Oh, Tony, I think you emailed me a long time ago, and I remember I was saying it yesterday. I don't know if you heard, I lost a bunch of emails because I ended up getting a bunch of spam. My email address probably maybe even being on here. I don't know. I started getting a whole bunch of spam emails. So I'm like lost in all my emails. So if you guys email me, just put tarot in the subject so I know to watch it. Do you know what I'm saying? So then that'll stick out at me. Because all of a sudden I got all these emails. I'm lost because I don't know who your people, some of you are. I don't know what your real names are. So when you send me an email, I don't even know. Just please try to put tarot in it so I know. Oh, I do have a Google phone number and stuff. I haven't I keep forgetting to put in the about section. And I started Discord that I haven't shared with anybody either, but I don't know anything about Discord, so y'all might have to help me. So make sure you give the thumbs up. But all right, so I wanted to talk about something that's important that kind of bothers me. Okay, so first I want to explain that some of you guys know that I'm a reverend at a pagan spiritualist church. So with that being said, I take my vows and my religion very seriously. So a lot of times, even parishioners, I might have a parishioner that walks through the church, and I might get a bad vibe off of them, or maybe they're not like my cup of tea or whatever. But it doesn't matter, because my higher power is who I serve. So I have to be there for everybody at all times. So when I say that this chat is open to everybody, and it doesn't bother me if you don't get along with this person or that one or this channel or that channel, because you guys are all fighting. This is a safe place. This is a safe place. All right. Because everybody needs spiritual guidance at all times. Okay. So even if my worst enemy came up in this chat and said they needed help, I am going to stop to help them. Do you understand? Like that is my purpose in life. And that's the vows that I took. And that means a lot to me. So all I ask is that you guys understand and respect that. If you happen to see somebody in chat that, you're not best friends with, outside of here or whatever, this isn't the place. Okay. This isn't the place. We're all here for the same thing, whether it's to get a tarot read or to connect to our spirit or our guides, or just talk about paranormal. This is not about everyday life. So if one of you guys said, I'm in crisis, I need to talk right then and there, I'll drop whatever I'm doing and I will help you with whatever you are. I noticed yesterday when I said, oh my God, I just got a feeling of deja vu, something bad's going to happen, like something that wasn't sitting right. I ended up finding out what it was. Okay. It wasn't that big of a deal, but it was enough to let me know that it gave me anxiety because it threw my energy off. Is that it doesn't even matter. But there's a reason why I'm pointing this out, because I love everybody here. Okay. So I just want to know that I have some really cool people that are mods. So if anybody ever said anything that wasn't, that was hurtful or anything, they would get rid of it right away, because I like everybody here. If you don't like somebody, that doesn't mean I have to dislike them. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not getting in the middle of anything. This is a whole different type of area. Okay. This is my spiritual zone when I'm here. I connect with spirit. I talk about spirit. So to me, this is my spiritual zone, and I take that very seriously. So, and if something is bothering you, please email me. That doesn't mean I'm gonna, do exactly what you say and listen to you, but it gives me a heads up to let me know how somebody else feels, so I can make sure I pay attention to chat, because I don't see everything in chat. Okay. I don't. So something told me to go back and read it, and I was trying to read it. I go on somebody else's channel, and I'm like, something's telling me to go check and see. This is why you always listen to your instinct. Always, always, always. Now with something minor, it wasn't even that big of a deal, but it made me have to pay attention. You know what I'm saying? So I just want you to know this is a safe place. If you end up coming in here and you end up seeing somebody that, might have had issues with in the past, ignore them, move on. Because there's a lot of other great people here that you can listen to, like moi. No, I'm just teasing. But you know what I'm saying? Like, this is a different type of channel. This is why I say there might be a trigger warning on their subjects, might be sensitive, because this is a safe place. All right. Sometimes when you connect to spirit, or even have a tarot reading or whatever, you bring out those emotions, and those are private and sacred. So that's another thing. Even though it's just open and everybody can see it, so help me God, if I ever find that anybody took anything that was talked about in here to use against somebody, make fun of them, like, you will be blocked instantly. Like, I'm not going to play that. And this is the reason I'm saying it. They're not in here. They've only came in my chat one time. They end up having a reading. So it's not anybody in here. So they end up having a reading about somebody else. Okay. And it's nothing involved in, like the community department that I'm involved in. But anyways, I ended up getting an email from somebody I never even heard of, wanting to know what I know about this person. And I'm like, you just know as much as I do by the reading. And even if I did know something, I'm not going to say it. Like, I'm not the type of person, like, I'm going to be 48. Like, I don't run back and forth and play these games, you know, like so-and-so said this, so-and-so said that. Does that mean I'm not going to listen? Oh, I'm going to listen. And I'm going to put it back in my head and I'm going to pay attention. But you know what I'm saying? Like, so don't whatever. Matter of fact, I knew when I did that reading for her, I remember specifically saying, go back and delete your comments because I don't want nobody to hold this against you. And sure enough, somebody emailed me. Okay. And I haven't seen them back here since. So I wish I knew how to get a hold of them to make sure that they're okay. But I don't even know, like, some of you guys might know who she is, but I think for the most part, most of you guys probably wouldn't. Only other place I've ever seen her was in a different channel, a bigger channel than this one. But anyways, I just wanted to say all this before we really got going, because it really bothered me. Like, it affects me, like knowing somebody's not going to be here to support me, even though I know they like me, because somebody else is in the chat, is to me is, I don't know. I don't think that's fair to me. And I don't think it's fair to what I stand for. Does that make sense? Because I really do like everybody here. I really do. When I say that you guys are a great support and I love you all, I truly do. But like I said, you know, like I serve a higher purpose. Okay. So everybody's welcome in my eyes. I can't pass judgment. We've all made mistakes. We've all done things that we feel regret for. And so if anybody's ever in need or needs help, and that even includes a tarot reading, because sometimes they need answers to something they're struggling in, that is my job. Okay. That is my job as a reverend, as somebody who serves, my God, goddess above. All right. And that's another thing. Religion doesn't, I believe all, like yesterday I said, Jesus Christ, like, oh, Jesus Christ. And I apologize right away. I didn't mean to say his name in vain. And just because my higher power is, I say God, goddess, that doesn't mean that I'm disrespectful to somebody else's religion or their beliefs too. Do you understand what I'm saying? And that doesn't mean I don't believe in Jesus either. Let's just put that out there. But I just don't. So religion is never an issue here. Like, I'm not going to disrespect you for my religion. Just don't disrespect me for mine. Because when it all boils down, we all have we all pray to the same power above. Okay. We just call them by different names. All right. So anyways, I got all that out of my system. And I didn't even look at chat once. So I have no idea what anybody is saying, but I know you guys are all respectful here, so I'm not worried about it. Oh, Tiffany said that if I had people come and ask me what my reading was about, and honestly, if it was their business, I say it's nobody's business. All right, so let me tell you. So if you end up having a reading, and then something ends up happening, you let me know, and I'll go back and delete that portion of the video, and you go back and delete your chat, okay? Because it's private. That's why sometimes I start saying stuff and I get very vague with my words, because it's nobody's business. I keep the reading short and simple, and it's nobody's business. So that's why I'll say, like, well, you know about the situation or something like that, because I'm not getting into detail. It's not my business to put your business out there. Okay. Does that make sense? So if there's ever a time that you really, you got something out of the reading, but then you're like, oh my God, I don't want this getting out there. Well, I don't want to hurt somebody's feelings if they end up seeing this. Let me know and I'll delete that portion of the video. Like, it's not a big deal to me. You understand? And that's why I said, obviously my private readings do cost money. I'm not going to charge you an arm and a leg, but private, and that's another thing. Private readings are private. I would never, ever, 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 ever tell anybody what happened in a private reading. Like, that is a big no-no. That is a big no-no. Private readings are private. I don't care if you're my mortal enemy and you came to me and asked for a private reading, I would give it to you and never spill the beans, even if I wanted to, so I can expose you, but I still wouldn't do it. You understand? Like, I would never, ever, ever do that. Okay. So I just wanted to put that out there. Let me go back and read some of this chat. I probably missed, I talk a lot. And honestly, like, it gave me a lot of anxiety. Like, there's so much, oh my God, there's so much drama out there. And people have tried to put me in the middle of stuff that I had absolutely nothing to do with at all. And, or judge me because I'm friendly to somebody else. Like, that's absolutely ridiculous. We're all goddamn adults here. You know, I really don't talk to anybody outside of YouTube. I really don't. You know, well, the one person that's in here I talk to the most, you know what I'm saying? But you guys don't even know who it is. And I don't even know if they want to know that you know who it is. And you guys probably would all sitting there guessing, thinking it's probably this was probably that one. And you're probably all wrong. Because it's not somebody, they're not somebody that I go, most of the chats I go into, they're not even there. And they never have been either. Okay. So it is what it is. All right. So anyways, adults need to deal with the drama elsewhere. Yeah. You know what? YouTube is supposed to be a fun place. It's supposed to be a great place. I never knew that there was so much bullcrap and drama in YouTube. Like, I come here to escape. All right. I come here and I have this channel because this is what I like to do. I love this. This is, you know, who I am. But I support everybody too. I go on all different kinds of channels. I do. I go on all kinds of channels. Some of them I'm like, so I go in there to be nosy because, you know, you hear some gossip, you want to see what's going on. I'm human. Oh, Tony, what did you have since you were a kid? Oh, let me pull it up on my phone. I was gonna and I forgot. But then we'll start doing these videos. Well, all right, so we talked last week. I wrote it down. So I'm gonna see if I can get one of my parishioners to come on next week. And then I'm gonna see, maybe not in the next couple weeks. And then I gotta see what her schedule is. And then what did we talk about doing? Oh, I forgot. I wrote a couple down I want to do research on. And I would love to do one on Gettysburg. I'm seriously thinking about going to see if I can rent a room at Lizzie Borden's house one night and see if I could do something there. Hey, Mallory, how are you? I haven't seen any of the chat, so if I ignored anybody, I didn't mean to, okay? Hold on, I'm pulling this up on my phone. I have really bad eyes, so I can see the chat, but not very well. So I'm going to pull up my phone, and I still can't really see it unless I have my glasses on. Yeah, my mom's pointing them. They're on your head. Oh, okay, Jay. I didn't know you were having a relationship problem. You see what I mean? You might have talked about it in my chat or somewhere else. And I missed half of it. Like, I was going back trying to figure out what was going on yesterday in my chat. And it really wasn't that big a deal. And I'm like, I missed all of this. Like, I didn't see half the conversations going on. I just saw having sex. Oh. Yeah, he was saying something personal. That's why I didn't read it out loud. Hey, Purple, how are you? Oh, I love Purple. She's a sweetheart, too. Like I said, I might have missed a whole bunch of chat in here. And sometimes I notice that I know, all right, so I know sometimes when there's chat in here and somebody will be talking to somebody that's in the chat and it's not even showing up their name at all. And it makes me think like, all right, so I'm kind of friendly and I like to talk a lot and blah, blah, blah. And I always like go everywhere and show hearts to everybody. And I always thought, I'm like, why am I always getting ignored all the time? And then I realized, like, the people on piano, ain't no way in hell they can see everything. But because of drama that goes on, I always assume it's me. So my own insecurities. So, all right, let me turn my phone down. All right. So anyhow, I want to show you guys these videos. I was thinking about deleting the first few minutes of this live, but I think I'm going to leave it up so everybody knows where my frame of mind is anyways. So anyhow, after we're done watching videos, if we still have time, if you guys have a story you want to share or whatever else, you guys will come on up. And hey, Tracy, hi, sweetheart. So I hope you guys please help me get to 500, okay? And the reason is because say if like, all right, so I have this friend that I want to come up on the piano to show this haunted thing that she has. And which would be absolutely cool, but it would be great if I had a community page so I can put it out there so people know what to look forward to. Or, just before Tarot Day, if I put out that, hey, today's Tarot Day at this time, you guys ahead of time can say that you want a reading and what your question is, or if you just want a general. And then if you're not able to be on there, I can rate the list and write down the timestamp. So even if you're not there, you can still get a reading. You know what I'm saying? Like, it can really open me up to be able to do a whole bunch of great stuff for you guys. Yeah, and please, please, please give it the thumbs up. I noticed, like, when other people started having drama, like, my numbers went down. I'm like, I'm not even in the middle of it. Like, this is complete bull crap. You know, like, it's not fair to me because you guys, you know, having a problem with somebody else. All right.
Say you guys, that's not nice.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know different things, but not who. LOL, paranormal activity since a child. I'm confused with that one. I'm confused with that one. Anyways,
someone's been seeing it since they were a child.
Is that what Tony's saying?
Tracy.
See, I missed, like, I'm gonna have to. I'll probably go back and rewatch the first 10 minutes.
Said, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know different things, but not who laugh a lot paranormal activity since a child.
You know, say, like, I tell you guys know I see spirit. I can even communicate with spirit sometimes, you know. But that doesn't mean every time I see a spirit, I know exactly who it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't. Like yesterday when I was doing, somebody kept telling me something wasn't right. The energy was off. And that's why I said, you know, the deja vu thing, and something just was off. And, I kept pulling these like salty cards, and I'm like, I think this has to do with me. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't really paying too much of the cards, and I kept feeling like somebody was like brushing up against me, and it was really spirits trying to let me know. And well, in my head, I knew, I'm like, somebody's talking about you, like your name's getting mentioned. And it wasn't necessarily bad about me, but it threw my energy off, and it just makes me feel uncomfortable. Oh, thank you, Tony. Yeah, hopefully. It's kind of frustrating. They go bloop, 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 bloop. You know, and I'm just like, or you think, oh, do I really suck? Oh, good. Thank you. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you. Like, I think I'm pretty easygoing. I like everybody. I really do. I like everybody. That's the problem. You know? Even if I'm kind of iffy with you, I still would be nice to you. Like, I'm not a bitch. I can be, though. Surprised my mom didn't give me that eye. Because I'm very, you know, I'm very blunt. You know, I say how it is.
Opinionated.
I'm very opinionated. That's what she said. I'm opinionated. But the thing is, when I go to explain something, it comes out worse than I mean it to sound. Like, I just spit it out, and I'm like, oh, that sounds horrible. That's not the way I meant it. Same thing in text. Like, you can interpret it 10 different ways.
I forgot to hit them.
All right. Do I have this all on here now? All right. You guys all ready? Oh, I got this shirt from a friend. She was getting rid of it, and I was like, to give some stuff to Goodwill. And I'm like, I'm keeping this shirt. I like. Only thing is, it does show a little too much cleavage. I just gotta be careful about bending over.
Rob might not mind.
Yeah, my husband might not mind. All right, so let's start with this first video. It's only like a minute-long video, minute and 30 seconds. But I'm gonna have to. Oh shoot! I gotta try to remember how the hell I did this again. So I gotta remember how to do this, but I'm still gonna have to stop it. You know. Give a commentary so I can't get striked on it. Oh, and that some of you guys might have missed that. So remember last week when I was playing the BuzzFeed video about Lizzie Borden's house, and at one point it went black. It was just saying, hey, we saw you playing this, and it just told me to stop. And then once I stopped it, which I was done with it anyways, it would go back to viewing my broadcast, which it never cut out any of my broadcasts. So the part that was blacked out that you guys seen wasn't blacked out if you went back and watched it. So I thought I was copyright striked. What I was copyright striked on was the day before when we were doing readings, and I had to go potty. And I said, Mama, entertain them for a minute. And she decided to put on a song for 30 seconds. Yep. So I just deleted that portion, and it fixed itself. and you got rid of it.
And I'll do it again if I have.
She says she'll do it again if she has to. I know it sucked though, because she did a little dance too in the corner. And I had to delete that little part too, because it was playing the song. Because that would have been funny to leave there. All right. So anyways, I love talking. That's the problem. Let's get this done. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out how to do it is make a clip of this, because nobody wants to go back and watch the full live. So I'll make a clip and put just that portion out of it. If it comes out good and I can figure it out right. All right. So now I have to remember how to share again. I think it was share screen. Oh no, it's not sharing screen. Oh my goodness. You see what I mean? You gotta give me a minute till I get used to this. Video file slides. Oh, fudge. Nope, not Google Slides. That's good to know. I don't know how to use Google Slides, but maybe sometime.
This is Iris, does Mama have abilities too?
Yeah, she does. Yeah. Hers, I think hers, I don't know. We never really talked about it. I mean, no offense to her. I think mine might be a tad bit stronger than hers, but I'm not saying in disrespect, but she really does. She does. And hers is a little bit different too. Everybody has their own different way. And I think a lot of hers is because she was brought up Catholic. So a lot of it was her upbringing. I mean, it was for mine too, but back in the day, it was a little bit different. See what you get by upgrading. Oh, no, not multiple camera. All right, you guys, got to give me a second because I forgot how to share videos again. Remember last week I had to figure it out? Here we go. Oh, for one, I can do that. And then, oh, wait, was it in settings? No, it wasn't in settings. Sorry, you guys. Please give me a minute.
No.
I promise you it's a cute video. Oh, crap. I clicked on the same thing again.
She said, it's okay, Tracy. Take your time. You'll be here all day.
All right. It's not share screen. So if anybody knows how to, I'm on StreamYard. It's not share screen, right? Is it share screen? Maybe it is share screen. Let me see.
I think.
Oh, it is share screen. Oh my gosh. All right. Chrome tab. All right. Here it is. So I'm going to have to. All right. Is that working? All right. So I got to mute myself and then go back and forth, right? All right. We're getting this. Actually, let me take off the
She told me to sing, B.
sing a song, Mama. All right, let me take off that banner I have. Yeah, if you guys want to email me, my email will run across the bottom there. And it's the same as my name. It's Iris Rainbow Things, but it's at Gmail. All right, I'm going to mute myself.
New at 5, spooky security camera footage.
Yeah, a Metro Atlanta mom says it actually shows her son's ghost. CBS 46's Yasmina Alston spoke with some paranormal investigators to see if it's real or if it's a hoax.
Here in Canton, Georgia.
So, as you guys can see, it's actually made it to the news, okay? And that's kind of what caught my attention. I'm like, you don't see news channels posting something like this on the news. So wait till you guys see it. If any of you guys have seen this one before, let me know. It was very cool. Oh wait, did I forget to mute again? Yes, I did.
Georgia, a group of paranormal investigators look into the supernatural. So it was only right that we asked them about what a mom says she saw in her security footage.
It's definitely unexplainable.
A Metro mom says her home security footage captured her son's ghost.
Definitely tell that in the photo there is a human figure.
On Facebook, Jennifer Hodge posted that she was watching TV with
Did you guys see that? I want to know in the comments what you guys think about that photo. If you think it's faked, if you think it's real, or you don't know, if you think it's cool. I wish I learned how. I don't know if you could do it on here. I see people put up polls. I don't know if you can do it on StreamYard. So if y'all know, let me know. Anyways, let me mute myself.
with her daughter when an alert on her phone said, "Your entryway camera saw someone." Here's what it showed.
No one's around at the time and something gets captured that we can't explain.
Hodge posted that the figure looks just like her son Robbie, who died in 2016. Hodge told media outlets her son died of an accidental drug overdose. Now, we showed the pictures to paranormal investigators Heather Thompson and Stephanie Forte with Paranormal Georgia Investigations. They agree with Hodge.
Okay, now I'm understanding what she's talking about, but it was definitely a human figure. I mean, there wasn't anything questionable.
That's exactly what I was thinking too. I'm like, that is that to me, that's absolutely amazing. Like a lot of these that I see on YouTube, because I was trying to look for some videos today to post, and I thought I found one good and about different clips. You know, it was like a countdown, and I started watching. I'm like, I bet you half of these are faked. I mean, they look cool and maybe they are real, but I'm like, no.
As to, okay, maybe that's a curtain that's billowing, or maybe that's, an appliance. That's definitely a human figure.
The two are part of a group that investigate homes and businesses of those who think they're dealing with the paranormal. They tell me security footage can be helpful, but to confirm, an actual home visit would be necessary. Hodge posted she is happy to be able to know her son is always with them.
I'm glad that she's happy. I'm very glad that she's comforted and that this brings her joy, because I wish more people would have that type of reaction to paranormal activity.
In Canton, Yasmina Alston, CBS 46 News.
Yeah. So what do you guys think about that? I thought that was very interesting. Jay said, I hope he can move on and it isn't, and he isn't lost. I hope so too, honestly, but we have to understand that even when, let me make this full screen for a moment. So even when we have a loved one that passes away, even if it's traumatic, I mean, it was a few years for him. Hopefully he's not left behind or feels lost and he hasn't gone across over to the other side. But you got to understand too, though, that they can come back at any time and be nosy, just like we can walk into the next room. They can walk to the next room through a wall. You know what I'm saying? Like they can pop up anywhere at any time. So he could be just coming in to check up on his family, But I did think that one was actually real. I did think that was very cool. So yes, but hopefully he wasn't. Hopefully he was able to cross over. Hi, Jody. Hi, I know I seen that you tried calling me yesterday, hon, but as soon as I got off my live, I had to start doing a thing with the birthday boy. We had a lot going on, so I wasn't able to talk yesterday. And it was lucky. I was supposed to make homemade pizza, but my father ended up ordering pizza instead. But which that's what little man really wanted anyways. He wanted pizza. So they ordered him his own small medium-sized cheese pizza. That little stinker took it right into his room. He wanted to make sure he didn't share it with nobody. Yeah. Oh, so anyways, when I played that clip, right next to it is one about an officer that I want to play that I haven't even seen yet. So you guys are going to watch it with me for the first time. So hopefully it's not a poopy one. Hopefully it's a good video. Oh, I'm trying to figure out how to bring this back. Yeah, listen, y'all, I'm still trying to learn. And I don't have my mouse on me, so I can use my little fingers. Oh, I think I forgot to hit mute. This one's a little bit longer, so I'm going to have to keep stopping it. This one's like a little over 3 minutes, I think.
Approaching tomorrow, Honolulu police have a spooky story of their own. An officer telling of a story her partner told her of a ghostly encounter at the Pali Lookout. The story was put together by HPD, and they've given us permission to share it with you.
One of the things that we have to do in District 5 is make checks of the Pali Lookout. And
I was just thinking, you know what? I mean, that's pretty cool that this ends up being on the news also, all right, which is like rare to have happen. But the officers really putting them out there to be really ridiculed, because I read tarot. A lot of people, don't believe in that, and they think it's a joke or I'm a scam or whatever else. Or if you say spirit, a lot of people have never seen a spirit, so they think that's a joke or whatever. So he can really, good thing he had enough support out there that was on the news and whatever. So hopefully he didn't have naysayers on him. I was just thinking about that, especially of being a public servant.
Pali Highway. Also at nighttime, we have to go up there and lock both gates. So at that time, my beat partner was a blue and white driver. She was still a rookie. She said she was assigned to close the Pali gates that night. And most officers, they don't like to go and they don't like to, close the gates because it's so dark up there at the Pali Lookout. She said she pulled up to the first gate, she locked that one, and she got back in her car.
That's kind of creepy anyways, going up there to do something like that, whether it's haunted or not, you know what I'm saying? Going in a dark place, making yourself vulnerable, especially since you're an officer. I think you have a bigger target on your back to begin with.
And she drove going into the Pali Lookout. But as she drove in, she saw something white. She remembered stories where officers would get into accidents because, they drive past this white figure. So she drove closer, and as she got closer, it appeared to be a lady wearing a white dress. And she was like, oh, I better stop and ask to see if she's okay. So when she pulled up, she started rolling down her window, but as she turned...
Sorry, you guys. Was I muted the whole time I was just talking? Yeah, I was muted. That's okay. I'll say what I was going to say in a minute.
Out and looked out the window to start asking the lady why she was there. She felt this eerie feeling in the blue and white. And that's when she looked in the rearview mirror and she realized the lady was sitting in the backseat of the Corvette. I remember her telling me that her grandmother always told her, if you do encounter any kind of spirit or anything, you need to stay calm and you need to talk to the spirit. So as she's driving, the lady's in the back seat, she kept talking to the lady.
Yep, I think I would have officially freaked out if somebody sat in the back seat of my car. You ever get in your car at night and you instantly check? I watch too many horror movies when they jump out of the back seat. So I always look. It's a habit. And that's one of my biggest fears, seeing a spirit too, when I'm driving down the road, because I've seen them cross the road and I've never had one in the car. I've had one in the car next to me one time, but it was a family member. But I never had one pop up in the back seat. I think I would have had an accident in my pants, and I had to explain that one to my family.
Oh, what are you doing out here, Auntie?
So to stay calm, she kept talking to the lady. And the whole time, the lady sat there, said nothing, and was looking down. When she got to the second gate, she got out, quickly closed that gate, and she knew that that spirit was still in the back seat. So she got back in, and she continued to talk to the person.
Wow, that spirit must have really strong energy to be staying there for that long, and maybe really felt comfortable with this person. Oh, Jay said I check under my car because of being in Ireland, but that's a whole other thing. Yeah, I checked under my bed. Never thought about checking underneath my car. Now, because you put that idea in my head, and I don't even know why, I'm going to have to start checking underneath my car.
Oh, I don't have anything to offer you right now. I'm just doing my job. I have to lock the gates. I have to drive around, and I do have to go through the tunnels, but, I cannot take you all the way to Panyohi, to Kailua, because that's out of my district. But, I want you to be safe. And she kind of told that to the spirit. And the whole time, the lady sat there, said nothing, and was looking down. So as she was driving down,
So what do you guys think about this so far? Do you think it's true? Do you think it's just a story? Do you think it's possible? I want to hear your guys' opinion.
She went through the tunnels, and she just felt this overwhelming peace. She just felt at peace. And then she looked up into the rearview mirror, and she noticed that the lady was gone.
Never called for backup? Our thanks to HPD for putting that together and allowing us to share it. Now, you can see a longer version by going to our website at khon2.com. Well, with help.
Okay, let me see if I can put this back here. Yeah, so I'm kind of curious what you guys think. It's rare that you hear somebody sit in the back car and driving with them for a while. I wonder how far that distance was that she had traveled in a car with this lady. Or maybe she happened to notice this lady because she's gifted herself.
That lady could have been there without showing herself too the whole time.
Yeah, yeah. So that's very cool. That is very cool. So there's a few times that I have seen spirit come across the road. So one time, it's not far from my church, actually. It's down the road. And one night, this was years ago when I first started going there, on my way home one evening after class, I seen a guy walk up. It was in front of my car. It wasn't like right dead in front of my car. But in my headlights, I could see a guy ahead of me, very distinct figure of a man that was thin, walking into the woods. So, and we were going out to do a paranormal investigation within the next week or two. I don't remember what it was. But and so this lady was saying that she was from the same area that I was in. And I said, oh, you know what I seen down this road? I told her where it was. And I told her how I seen this guy. And I described the guy to her. But you remember, guys, when I say I see spirit, they look like you would think of a ghost. You can kind of see through them. They're white, hazy, kind of like a mist. And then my third eye sees the rest. Okay. So I'm telling her, I seen this guy walking into the woods over this way. And this is what he looked like, blah, blah, blah. And she said, oh, that's so-and-so. He used to own the farmland over there when I was a kid growing up there. She's like, I guarantee you it's him because you described him to a T. And he sold off part of that property, and down that way used to be a road, but they closed it off, which makes sense because it's a very sharp turn. And it was almost at that turn right there. And but that part of the road that used to be there is now closed off, and it was right near that area. But she was describing that area, what it used to look like and everything. And I was like, oh, that's very cool. So that was the first full figure apparition that I seen like walking across the road. And to me, it seemed like it was the middle of nowhere, because on the other side is swamp, there's houses down the road, so to me, it seemed like it was in the middle of nowhere, but so it didn't really make sense to me, but she knows exactly who it was and what about that area. Hey, Frosty, how you doing, sweetheart?
Jay Marie's here too.
Oh, hey, Jay Marie. Sorry, I'm not really paying attention to chat. If you're a mod in here, make sure you guys post your links and post up Frosty's too. Frosty has an awesome channel. Actually, a couple of them. She does. She reads stories on one of them, and the other one they have it's about animals. So you see them taking their animal for a walk. They're beautiful, beautiful. Is it a white shepherd? I don't even know what kind of dog it is. I forgot. But it's big, beautiful, and white, sweetest little thing. And then they've had a veterinarian on there. They've had a dog trainer on there. So they have really, really good content on their channel, especially if you're a dog lover. So I hope one of you guys can get Frosty's TV up there. So, and I think Frosty TV, that's the name of your dog, right, Frosty? So anyways, subscribe to their channel. It's really cute. And Jay Marie's and anybody else that's in there has a channel. Make sure you post your link.
It's a white Swiss Shepherd.
Oh, white Swiss Shepherd. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful dog. Absolutely gorgeous. They did a live not too long ago on, that I caught, what the heck was it? About ticks. It was very informational about ticks because the tick season's upon us now. So if you guys want to go back and read that. Oh, and Frosty's husband made the most hysterical video about beef jerky. I'm just thinking about it. It's making me laugh.
Frosty subscribed also.
Huh?
I said she subscribed.
Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Make sure you give it a thumbs up, please, please, please. My goal is try to get it up to 500 so I can start using that community channel. Yeah, fleas and ticks. Yep. We have a problem with ticks every year. We have it in the yard, out in the back. So the people in the back that have more yard than us, their yard probably needs to get treated or something. So their animals being outside gets it. I have 3 cats. One of my cats is always outside. And my dog we take out there to go to the bathroom. So every year they get fleas, every damn year. And nothing we seem to do works, But so I'm still looking for product that'll be safe for them and safe for us too. Because some of those chemicals give me a migraine. So I can only imagine what it does to them.
The diatomaceous earth works.
Yeah, that would be a lot of stuff for to spread along the whole entire yard, though.
I know.
And all right, so a lot of people know that I used to be a groomer. I know it's off track a little bit. So the fleas that are on your body, if I remember correctly, this was years ago. I think whatever fleas you see on your animals, that's only 10% what's actually in your house. So even if you don't see them jumping all over the place or all over you, you got them in your house. So whenever my animals get them, I clean my whole house. I don't take care of just the animals. I have to move the couch cushions and vacuum underneath there. And, they sit in the chairs on the in the kitchen. So I have to wash on the floor and behind the chairs in the back where nobody is, wash all that. Cause I just want to make sure everything that that doesn't happen. Anyways, I can go a whole tangent about that. But anyways, back to paranormal. Oh, you know what? Our fur babies could be paranormal too. Okay. I've had a couple experiences. So last July, it was a day after July 4th, our dog, we had to get put down. He was young. It was a couple days before his year birthday. He ended up getting an infection in his mouth. And the vet said that it looked like he was chewing on something hard and, you chew on your mouth a little bit. Well, he got an infection in there and then he stopped eating. And anyways, we took an emergency vet because he wasn't eating, and come to find out he had an infection in his mouth. So they put him on antibiotics. But the thing was, the infection was getting worse. So he's not eating. He can't walk. He's too weak and he's getting worse, and antibiotics are not working. So we bring him back to the emergency vet, actually a couple of times. And they ended up doing tests on him. And they said the reason why that the infection wasn't going away is because he ended up having like doggy leukemia, and that he was too sick. And they said this is about the age that they would find it anyways, and that it came closer quicker, because he ended up getting infection in his mouth, and that they ended up finding he had a thing about eating underwear and pants. Okay. So we are always having to close like all our bedroom doors and the bathroom door and stuff. We would have to close everything tight and make sure he didn't go into any of those rooms, because he would eat our panties in our pants. All right. So anyhow, and so that was an issue, but we never knew that some of it got stuck in his stomach. So they said that he was too weak to even get surgery, and it wouldn't help anyways, because he was going to pass away anyways. So we ended up having to put him down. And that was absolutely traumatic for us. Like, we felt like we were horrible people and we must have done something wrong, even though we did everything we could. But you know what I'm saying? You still have regret and stuff. So like a couple weeks later after he passed, now my other dog, you guys seen my little dog, okay? The other one was a pet. So you guys see my other little dog. He was depressed too. Like, other dogs get depressed, and he would sleep by the puppy's cage. All right. And he was, he was really sad, and he was just acting different too for a while. Well, one day my husband and I are the only ones home, and we're standing in the kitchen, and my husband and I both stopped at the same time because we heard him bark. I mean, he was a big dog. And my husband and I both like, did you just hear that? We're like, yeah. We're like, the dog just barked by where his cage was, so our animals still let us know that they're around us, even when they're not here. So like, that we've had with other experiences. One time, this is years ago when I was still a parishioner at a church. Every year we have a seance. It's a spiritualist church, so you got to expect that. That's what spiritualism is. It's about communicating with the other side. So we had a seance, and somebody there noticed, which I felt something on my lap, and somebody there noticed and described my dog that was cuddled up with my lap, who had passed away. So anyhow, even your fur babies are always still with you too, and they pass away. And my cat too. I have a cat that's still with me. Hey, TFA, how are you doing? How are you? So has anybody else here ever had an animal that has crossover that they felt or knew that they're still around them? Oh, thank you for posting Jay's link. I see you got the hang of how to do the links, Nessie. I'm glad. And I think Jay, I thought TFA was a mod here. I'm going to make him a mod. So when he pops in, he can do it. Hey, Cinnamon, how are you, sweetheart? When you said absolutely, because I haven't been really watching chat. So has, thank you, Tony, for posting Jay Marie's channel. If you guys have experience with animals, I don't know if Cinnamon said absolutely. She meant that. We're talking about something else, because I haven't been paying attention to chat. Hey, Confused, how you doing? I would love to hear about your animal stories, if you guys have any, or any paranormal story. Yes, pets have shown that they're still around. Oh, yeah, they absolutely do. Absolutely, totally. Mm-hmm. All right, I'm going to drop my link. So if anybody has a story they want to share or talk about the things that you've seen and give your opinion about it, you guys are more than welcome to come up. Yes, thank you, Tony, for posting that. Like, sub, share, hit that bell. Hitting the bell is really important. And sometimes you have to unsubscribe, subscribe again to do it again, because, YouTube has been acting wonky. But some channels, so now when I happen to see them, I'm trying to remember to hit that bell, which is important, because I'm always like, I seen this channel once. I really liked them. You know, I subscribed to them, but I never hit the bell, and you hit all so you can to get notified for it. Because a lot of times I go under the live to see if I know anybody that's live, you know, but it's nice to know, oh, the so-and-so is coming on. You know, it'd be nice to get notified that they're on. Because I'm missing chats because of it, because I didn't get notified. So make sure you ring that bell if you don't want to miss anything. And I dropped the link if anybody wants to come up here. Oh, yeah, subscribe to the vent room, too. There are a bunch of cool ladies up there talking. And gents, too. But it's mostly ladies up there. They're funny. Thank you, Confused.
She's confused. She's talking about readings.
Who's talking about readings?
The last post. I'm confused.
Oh, yeah. Confused is awesome. I love her. I like everybody in here, actually.
I had a cat. It still comes to my bed.
Oh, you're
sometimes.
grooming your cat, Jay? Yeah, I subscribed to your. Remember, I said at the beginning I was going back. I didn't watch all of it. I mean, that's too long. I was just like bouncing around trying to see, you know, what was going on during chat. I seen that Confused has a channel that was posted. So make sure you have Confused right channel, because I think it's different than from what her name is. And I subscribed to it this morning. Actually, I subscribed to Nessie's too. I think she only has one video up of her kitties. Cute kitties. Actually, one of her kitties looks like one of my kitties. But it's really important to help each other out here, you know. That's how you get our channels to grow and prosper. I'm putting this up on the big screen, so hopefully it's not too personal, because I can't see it too well. When I was in foster care, my dad had been gone 2 years, and actually said, plain as day, no matter what, you're going to be okay. And I was 12, and I've cherished that moment. Oh my God, that's a beautiful gift, Jody. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. That's absolutely beautiful. Yeah, our loved ones communicate with us too. They really do. And don't, like I say this all the time, don't ignore it and think if it's, you know, you're just imagining it. It seems like your imagination, but it's because it's coming from your head. You know, it's your third eye. I learned how after someone else does, LOL, but I don't know how anyone else.
Anywhere else.
Anywhere else. That's probably for something else. Oh, let me see, Tracy. Thank you. All right. Can you tell? Put glasses on.
Put your glasses on.
Oh, thank you, Tracy, very much. Yes, I just got it. Just when I went to go look, it popped up. You guys are amazing. Thank you very much. And don't forget tomorrow. Don't be shy if you want to come up here and talk either. I could fit 10 people up here. We just got to try to talk one at a time. So I'm going to post my link again if anybody wants to come up.
My cat still walks across the foot of my bed to get on.
Your Sam? Your cat Sam?
Yeah, Sam.
Still
We had
walks
Sam
around.
for 18 years.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel Angel. Remember, I had Angel. I feel
remember
like
Angel.
she
That's the
goes
one I
on
found.
my back, and you
Yeah.
know, feel like that's where she goes, cuddle up on my back, or in my face.
Yeah.
So yeah, when
You
my
can always feel them.
yeah, when my cat Angel passed away, they used to call her the Hell's Angel, the Devil Kitty. You know, her name was Angel, but she was a little stinker. She was very picky about who she liked everybody, but didn't want to be pet either. Does that make sense?
She had been abandoned, and I picked her up at the pond.
Oh yeah, that's right. I got the cat from my mother. She picked it up at a pond that was abandoned. They were out fishing. So anyhow, I had it for quite a few years until she passed away. And I woke up early one morning and I jumped right up And I said to my husband, I think my cat's dead. Look underneath the bed. I don't know why I said it or what made me think of it. And sure enough, my husband looked underneath the bed and found our cat there. And now, mind you, my cat never slept underneath the bed, always in the bed with me. But she did. She passed away underneath my bed. And something woke me up and just told me that she had passed away and chucked underneath the bed. So always listen to your instinct. Always. Always.
Bling's here, and he said it's a little late because he didn't remember what he set the alarm
Hey, girl.
for.
Hey, Bling.
He couldn't remember what he set the alarm for.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
We all do that.
Yeah. Well, yesterday I think I said I was going to do it at 11 a.m. Eastern, but I was thinking, why? I can do it at noon. This live doesn't take, as many hours as the tarot reading does. Hi, Tatted Chip. How you doing, sweetheart? I've been thinking about you. I remember reading what you had posted yesterday in the chat. So I hope you and your family's doing okay. Tatted Chip, is it okay if I share with everybody so they can give hearts and send some love and support? I won't do it unless you give permission. I'm sure you're exhausted. Oh, Jesus Christ, Tony. Yes, you're right in front of me. See, now I'm looking at chat and not paying attention to what's in front of me. All right, yeah, so yesterday I saw in chat, I don't know the whole story or anything. It doesn't even matter. I think it was, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was her granddaughter who is 10 or 11. Father had just passed away the other day. And just thinking about it's going to make me bring to tears. She said that father passed away, and she said that she still remembers that cry when she found out about her father. That is absolutely, that poor baby. See, that's going to make me tear up. So everybody, please, please, please send lots of hearts to Tatted Chip and prayers and some good mojo.
Read Jody's.
All right, hold on one second. Let me add Tony to the stream. My sister-in-law has been gone for 4 years, and her favorite song starts playing randomly and no music on it. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that does absolutely happen. Yep. And because that's a way to let you know. And she's not in here, but my husband's cousin Kathy, who comes in here, I'm not doxing her name because she uses her real name on here. So when she knows just when somebody's going to pass away, because a certain song always plays on the radio, and she's like, "Oh my God, something's going to pass away," and then within the next day or so, she ends up finding out.
Wow.
How you doing, Tony?
I'm doing good. How are you, honey?
I'm doing good, hon. Oh, I'm trying to some of the hearts for Tatted Chip. That's very sad when you lose somebody, especially when it affects
hearts.
Yeah,
I can't do right now.
Yeah,
I can't do. That made no sense. I said I can't do right
no,
now.
I understand.
And it's not around where I can a phone or something I can type it into.
Yeah.
Just sending love.
Oh no, I know. It's heartbreaking, and I know you know how that is.
Oh, yes, it is. It is. It's hard with anybody,
You said the anniversary is coming up soon, right?
Yeah, July 29th.
Oh, baby girl.
So that's going to be 2 years, but I'm telling you, don't feel like it's 2 years. It don't seem like it's 2 years. Then you start getting into what does he look like now? What would he have looked like?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah.
And go down all that stuff. I think that's why a lot has went to my husband on getting that ability more. And I'm actually away from it more than I ever have been. So I'm not more susceptible to a lot more what I used to be, on senses and fears and different things.
What do you mean? Like you're not? I got confused.
I can sense like when there's a bad spirit and different things, but I'm like not in tune with my senses like I was before my son's death.
No, you will again. No, you will again. The whole
Or I
thing.
would be feeling it, with him, and I don't.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, you know what I mean? Like you would think, and then like if
No.
you miss something with your kids, you think, well, I've got, but my husband has gotten more in tuned
Okay.
with it.
So, all right. So, a lot of times when we go through transitions in our life, especially if they're difficult ones,
Mm-hmm.
so if you've been having a lot of anxiety or depression or different things going on with like a tragic passing, like you
Mm-hmm.
dealt with, sometimes your body naturally cuts itself off. So
Yeah.
it hasn't gone anywhere. It's just that your body can only
Exactly.
handle so much at a time. So
Mhm.
it'll come back again. That happens to me when I'm really stressed out and I really have trouble dealing with life myself. I don't notice spirit around me at all.
Yeah.
And then I start thinking like, what's wrong with me? But it's not.
Yeah.
It's only because you're dealing with other stuff. So
Yeah.
it's not. It hasn't gone anywhere. But
And my dreams are also being altered because due to the medication that I take at nighttime to sleep, because of insomnia, because I have never been one to sleep at night. And a lot of it, I'm wondering if that goes along with having the night terrors and just being as an adult and afraid, for it to happen again. And then, because it takes a little bit before you can deal with that feeling, when you're older. It took me older being okay with it. Like I said, I think I've told you before, it used to scare the shit out of me as a child.
yeah, me too.
What child wouldn't be scared? I mean,
Absolutely.
and I used to tell my parents and my sister and them that I'd see things. Well,
Did
one
they
night they
believe you?
believed. Well, yeah, one night so much so that we all slept on the fold-out couch in the living room, my mom and dad and my sister, until I started telling her to stop touching me. I'm like, stop touching me. And she woke up and heard me saying that. And she's like, damn. She's like, I was thinking in my head, I'm not touching her. I don't know who in the hell's touching her. So she ran back to my mom and dad's room and they woke me up. And I was kind of like, it felt like the room was like just spinning nonstop. And I could just see my dad saying, Tony, what's wrong? Tony, what's wrong? I don't know. It was a lot more stuff sleep-wise too, and like that.
Yeah. So you think the medication has stopped your dreams some? Is that what it is?
I think that's and the other medication. I think it stopped a lot of things.
Yeah.
But I still have like my senses like about people or about certain other things that go on.
So don't let the medication discourage you. Like it does help. I mean, it does cut things back, but like I've heard people saying, I got off my medication so then I can feel open again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you need that medication. Like you can't, you have to have it for a reason. But the thing is, you'll
But some of
eventually
them
get
I might not have to have for so much reasons,
Yeah. But you'll get those gifts back. So even if
I think they
medication
just
stops it, you just
medicated
gotta
me
work
up,
through it.
over a year ago to when that all went down.
Yeah. Yeah. You'll start seeing and feeling and stuff again, but you're still working on healing yourself.
Yeah.
And that's gonna take time. Like 2 years is nothing that seems like yesterday.
No.
You know,
not. And I've also spoken to
won't get
people
it.
on here that says, it's been 16 years, 20 years, 25 years. And they're like, it's just like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
It's like your mind keeps replaying that over and over in your head. So.
Yeah, and it's gonna start getting worse the closer it gets to his anniversary too. It's gonna get harder and harder. So years ago, my son would be 31 this year. So, but he passed away and he was 3 months old. And the first few years of his passing, at least the first 5 years or so, I ended up in a hospital around the same time every single year that he passed away. I always ended up having a breakdown and ended up in a hospital.
Yeah.
So that's it, because
I ended up in the hospital after he did. I think it was hard putting down and putting on a face for everybody when you like, I don't care what any of you think. I lost a son. I'm going over here and I'm just gonna, just be around myself.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
And on the anniversary, it's really, really hard on the anniversary.
It is. And it's going to be that way for years. Years.
Yeah.
Years.
That's why I want to do some good and get some things going that Gavin was, passionate about and loved. One of them is with kids that, can't afford like gear, that want to race, like race dirt bikes or four-wheeler stuff like that, so that those kids could get the things that they can to race, There's so many kids that don't have nothing. I mean, believe me, I've wondered, how are these kids going with there's just tennis shoes on and stuff like that, going and riding in these, hilly, woodsy areas.
The kids don't think. Children think they're invincible is what the problem is. They really, truly do.
Yeah. They really do. I'm telling you. My grandkids do completely.
Yeah. I'm trying to get my husband. All right. So Connecticut doesn't have a helmet law. So when you ride a motorcycle, you don't have to wear a helmet. And I've been telling him lately, now we have helmets for when we go out of state. So I'm like, maybe we should really start wearing our helmets,
Yeah.
And he says yes, but then he doesn't put it on. I don't know. But his best friend, like a brother, actually was like a father to him. We call him his brother. He was really close with. He ended up getting somebody in a backing into him when he was driving down the street on his motorcycle and killed him. And then the other day, another friend of his got hit by a motorcycle and is now in the hospital and I'm having emergency surgery. He's knock on wood that he ended up being okay. Actually, I'm kind of surprised. So, I think that use your protection. Stop thinking you're invincible. Maybe you're a safe driver doesn't mean the idiot that ends up hitting you is it.
Yeah.
Because honestly, riding a motorcycle, like motorcycle give other people's a bad rap too, because some of them are jerks and like speed, but most don't. So a lot of times these cars think, until I started riding on the back of my husband's motorcycle, I was like, what the hell is the matter with these drivers? Like they honestly think because their motorcycle's smaller, they can fit into tighter spots and they're more likely to cut in front of you. Happens all the time.
My boys, they rode motorcycles too. And Gavin had one when he passed away, and his brother's driving it now. So that was something hard too to let go. And then Gavin has a car, and we let his sister take that. It goes to her. We're just not ready to see it go.
Oh,
so
yeah, that's sad. That's all hard stuff.
But me and my husband used to ride all the time. We had so much fun, and I wouldn't wear a helmet. But then he would make me mad and not teach the boys to wear a helmet. And I'd be like that mother, like, no, let's get the helmet on. And he'd be like, no, they can't hear me when I'm trying to give them directions. I was like, okay. Mom says no. You say yeah. Who do you think they're going to go for? The yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, no, that's one thing that our children have to wear helmets. Even our adult children, like if my daughter, she's in her 20s, she goes on the back of the bike, we have a helmet for her.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We have the helmets; they're going to put them on.
Yeah.
But I have to admit, it's pretty scary seeing my other son on the same bike, and Gavin was like, he raced him, and it's just
that's very scary. And then
seeing Greg on it, but Greg does it, but with not like he does it sensible, but he'll burn out and do something like that, but he controls it. But it still scares me.
That fear is always going to be with you forever now. There's, what I'm saying? Like, you're going to be
both of them, ain't it? For both of them, it's going to be that way, ain't it?
Oh, hey, Celica, how are you, sweetheart? I saw your message. J. Marie, Iris Rainbow, wear your helmet.
For those that get nightmares, you don't have to read it out
loud. Yes. So I think it's great. You guys can still ride. I'm at 42.
My mom wrote
and can't anymore. Because of health.
Oh, really? Let me tell you, it hurts my back a lot. And I get sore as hell. I have fibromyalgia.
Oh my gosh, yes.
But let me tell you, it's worth it. It's so, just like that freedom, that wind blowing in you. Oh, I love it.
The beauty and looking up at the sky and
beautiful.
Not being in a vehicle.
Yes. Yeah. Just sitting in the back, just looking around, oh, I love it. I absolutely adore it.
I loved the full moons. We would go riding on full moons, and like I
Mm.
would ask my husband, "You got me, you got me." And that means that I was going to stand up on the back of the peg things, on the back, and I
Oh,
was just
good
going to hang on to him.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Are you freaking crazy?" I said, "Well, good thing you had me." So after that, he knew he had to have me,
Mhm.
forever.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
also talking about someone who would try to pop willies with me on it. Yeah, I'd say you're going to do what I want on there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's awesome though. You are right. It's just the intake of it all, taking all of it in. It's just so beautiful.
Feels like a freedom, just it's so, I love it.
And
My
like
husband
the
has a bad
adrenaline
day.
rush.
He's like, I'm going for a bike ride, and he goes for a ride and
Mm,
releases all the garbage from the day, and then he comes back.
yeah.
Yes, I pinky promise, Jody. I pinky promise. You can't make or break a pinky promise. I know, poor Jody's been trying to get a hold of me. She probably think I'm blowing her off on purpose.
Oh, that's the counselor in me doing that.
Oh, okay. Did you look this up?
No,
Oh,
that's
hold
what
on.
I know.
Oh, this is what my mother said. This is a counselor in me. Let me read it. I got to put my old lady glasses on. It happens once you hit 40, everything goes downhill. All right. My mom wrote, I think she said this is about what if you have bad dreams.
Yes.
All right. Instead of thinking about someone passing and being sad, try thinking about all the good things that have happened with them. So you mean like before you go to sleep, try to think of those thoughts?
Yeah, you all the time, not just before you go to sleep. If something happens, Mom used to do that. That was funny. Mom used to decorate the tree.
Oh, to keep her memory alive. Just keep
Just
always
to keep
talking
her
about
memory,
the good stuff.
things.
Yes,
like my
we do
mom
that.
used to pull my toe all the time.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Yeah, because in our family, when somebody passes away, we always try to do a celebration of life, so we can keep that memory alive and celebrate their life
Exactly.
instead of mourning it. Not that you're not going to be sad and still mourn, but to keep that positive energy of them still alive.
It might help her dreams.
It might. Oh, she said it
Yeah.
might help your dreams too.
And that's the funny thing she said that because I was just figuring out, like we were talking about this in like the depression thing, like trying to start thinking, and I was starting to think, good thoughts when I'd start seeing the bad thoughts or the bad, pictures in my head that go on and on, but redirect it to good.
And it's easier said than
That's
done.
something I've started on, and so it was funny for her to say that because that tapped into that and then the other with me. So yeah,
Absolutely.
your mom might have an ability.
No, she does.
Mm-hmm.
But
She
I was
does.
also
Just seen it.
But she was also a counselor.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She specialized in drug and alcohol counseling, but
Whoa.
she was also a counselor. Hi,
Well,
yo.
she's got wonderful communication
Welcome.
skills.
Why do you scam people by
Believe it.
using their pain? You people deserve a special place in hell. Why do you scam people by using their pain? Whatever.
Bling deleted it.
Thank you, Blaine.
Nobody's
It
scamming
doesn't
off of
delete that.
me. I'm sharing my pain with people that I care about and feel free to.
Yeah, I don't know how that's scamming. Like you're freely
They're
talking
doing it to all kinds of damn channels anymore. It's like, oh my God, you get up every day and there's 5 more trolls, I guess. And
It's
I
not.
don't know.
People are entitled to their opinions.
Yeah.
Like I've had one day, actually happened a couple times. People kept coming in with different Bible verses, and one time somebody said I was going to burn in hell in here, and I'm like, I just
Oh
started.
my God, good Lord.
One time when they were doing the Bible verses, they were fake. Like, dude, you think
If you don't like the channel, don't come to it.
Huh?
I said, like with them people, if you don't like the channel, don't come to it. What the hell?
It is.
Leave people alone.
Yeah, it is. It's not a big deal to me. And when they were posting all that stuff about their view and their Bible stuff, I just let them do it. Whatever, go ahead. That's your opinion. I'm not going to delete you because of your viewpoint on that.
What they're doing, they're showing stuff about people, different creators, and they're saying stuff that ain't even true about that person, and nobody's ever even witnessed that person do something like that.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what's getting me off. Like, if you're
Yeah.
gonna say something, make it good, make it a little juicier, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I think people like think stuff like they assume and they turn their assumption into fact. I don't know. I can't say if that's true or not. That's just my view because if you're a person in chat, you don't really know what goes on behind the scenes.
Mm.
But I really think though that once you're able to heal a little bit more, I mean, it's come on 2 years, that's still fresh, that's still new. And then
Very
your
raw.
will slowly come back again. But honestly, meditating is very healing. It really
Yeah.
helps heal your mind and your soul.
I do
That
meditate.
helps open you up too. Hi Jane, how are you doing, sweetie? How you guys doing? If anybody popped in here and I didn't notice them, I'm sorry.
Hi everyone. I can't see chat, so
Yeah. So if anybody wanted to watch I think after like 15 minutes, I think I played a couple clips of that was on the news stations that people claimed that were spirit. If you guys wanted to go back and watch that, I'm gonna see if I could try to break it up and put it on YouTube so someone don't have to go back and watch the whole entire live. So do you say that because I know before you said that your son's around, but you haven't personally felt him or seen him? Is that what it is? What I forgot. You got to refresh my memory. Oh, she went quiet. Tony, are you here? I'm going to post my link again in case anybody else wants to come up and share a story.
I'm sorry.
Don't apologize, honey.
The dog I had to help do something with. Hi, Bling. She wouldn't even come. If you say the word BATH,
Yeah.
she will be mad and stay away from you. And she's only had one twice. Okay, mind you that. But she knows what it is and what it means. So she'll stay away from you for like 3 days.
Who will?
She's our dog, Nova, because she thinks she's gonna get a BATH. I have to spell it. That's pretty bad when you got to spell it around your animal. You already used to have to do that.
No, they know. They know. I had a dog that if he sees nail clippers, he takes off running and he hides. Yeah. Or hair clippers because I cut his hair.
I'm trying to do the nail clip and I did it once, but it has to be done again and I'm gonna need some help. She's bigger now.
Oh, really? Yeah, you have to have one help hold and one clip. But is it a big dog?
Yeah, she's a pit bully, terrier, pit or whatever.
So when you clip the nails, do it from behind her. Stand behind her. All right. So stand behind her so it's not as intimidating because you're not on top of them. Stand behind her. And if they can't see you do it, if you ever go to a groomer and you see them clip their nails, they'll like your paws up front, they'll push your paw back like this and do it from behind. So it's not as intimidating. If you show it to them in front of them, they're going to freak out even more.
I'll have to have my husband try it first just in case she gets mad and bites, okay? I'm going to tell him.
Yeah, and that's another that's groomers would stand behind the dog.
Yeah.
So they're not in our face either.
Well, I can do that. It's like I know that like I always heard that when you if a dog's getting in the middle of an action of peeing or pooping inside, you go under and grab them and hold their belly and they won't do it.
Yeah. No, they still will, but
I know. She has accident in the houses sometimes, but I think she does it if there's another dog or if I don't know.
They'll do it to show dominance in territories, or if they'll do it if they're mad too.
Yeah, my mom don't think that happens with cats, and she let my sister bring her boy cat there for a minute, and I'm like, and then I call back and the next day, and I'm like hearing this thing, and it just sounds like. Oh my God, it's the most horrible sound I've heard. It sounds like crying, like in an awful way.
So
And
was
I'm
it
like,
was a female cat fixed?
No, the I don't know. My mom kept her in the other room, but I told her not to even do it. And I'm
Well,
like,
see,
now,
a cat that wants to, get a little something,
Mhm.
something will howl like
That's
they're dying.
yeah, that's what she was sounding like. And I'm like, Mom, that's mean to do. Melissa should have never brought her damn cat there to visit. I mean, Mom
Listen,
don't let
Tony,
her
your
cat
cat
out.
just probably wanted a little something, something.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said, Mom, you know what it's wanting. It's wanting that, you know what now? It smelled it.
Yeah, that's true.
And so you can't blame her now because she's whining when they should have never. Because I heard him talking about it. Mom didn't want me here because she knew I'd say something about it.
Yeah.
And that I wasn't stupid on it, because I'd tell my sister and her friend / not boyfriend for 8 years.
Yeah.
It takes her to Hawaii.
That's funny though. Yeah, one before we got our cat fixed, she had this is why I let her have her litter. She had kept getting when she was young, she still gets allergies, but it's not as bad. They would get so bad, their allergies, that she would scratch at it and make her neck raw and pussy. It was gross. So I'd have to take her in the hospital and get her cortisone shots and stuff. So a friend of mine said, let your animal go into heat and let your cat get knocked up, basically, and sometimes it'll help with the hormonal balance. And it did. Actually, it stopped for quite a few years, and she's just starting to start up a little bit, and this was years ago. But anyhow, so I did let her get pregnant and let her have a litter. Unfortunately, she had 2, because what happened was when she was nursing 1, we made the appointment to get her fixed, and she ended up getting pregnant again. So when I called to say, listen, my cat got pregnant. She's nursing. I didn't really pay attention. I didn't think she could get pregnant. What it was. I was naive. I didn't know. This was years ago. And they said, oh, you can still get her fixed. Bring her in. We'll just get rid of the babies that are in her belly. I'm like, no, you're not. Oh my God. I just let her have the second litter and then took her in while she was still nursing to get fixed right away. So we wouldn't have more. But it did. It helped with the rash and stuff on her neck. But my point of the story is that when she went in heat just before she got pregnant, all these male cats that I've never seen in our neighborhood all started coming up on my stairs, and they would be there. All these cats were around in my area all of a sudden. And then I started once in a while smelling urine. I first stepped outside, and my friend was like, it's because they're spraying out there.
Spraying, yeah.
Even though my cat was indoors, they knew, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they started coming around.
My mom got out one night and she didn't come trotting in the morning. My mom said, I told her, you just get your little whore ass in there. She's been all out night chomping around, trolicking around. And I said, well, you're probably going to have, some kitty cats. No, I'm not. I said, well, you let her out.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
I mean, you can't prevent it. I mean, she smells it. There's other animals that live around the area that are cats. She's going to smell it. Either this is what they did with the puppy that they got from me, was my dad wouldn't get him fixed because he thought if you fix a dog, basically, it's like how men get fixed and it's making it less of a dog,
Yep.
I don't know why he stuck with that, but they should have got him fixed.
Yeah.
So mom needs to get her fixed.
Absolutely, get him fixed.
Yeah. Instead of listening to that crying. I mean, I couldn't listen to that. And, I got to ask a question. I'm not trying to be honoring, but have you ever seen 2 cats stuck?
No, but I've seen 2 dogs stuck, bulldogs.
You have?
Mm-hmm.
I've seen dogs like that. I've had our dogs are like that, but I seen the cat thing one time, and it sounded like it was a bunch of people going at it, screaming and stuff again. And I didn't even know that existed or could happen. So when I seen it, I was shocked. So I was running in and out to get different people to come out and listen and watch because I'd never seen something like that.
You brought an audience.
I mean, I had to. I'd never. That's a you don't see that.
Yeah.
That's why I was asking you. Am I the only? I mean, I don't think you actually do see that very much. I don't even know if it's possible. Maybe I was on something like, that made me think it was that. I don't know. I was on some fairy dust.
Well, I'm sorry, that's funny. Anyways, we kind of got way off track. That's okay though. That was funny. We ended it with two cats getting stuck together. So I think I dropped my link. So if anybody else has a paranormal story too, please come up and share. I love to hear different stories, different experiences that people have had. And don't think that you're crazy either. I'm going to go back and do one the paranormal thing next Tuesday evening, my time. Because last week, because I usually do it on Tuesday nights. Last week, my little man was getting acknowledged for like one of the most approved students in the school, whatever, at a baseball game. So they gave us tickets for him to be. So we went to a baseball game last week, and then this Tuesday, yesterday was his birthday. So we'll do it back next Tuesday, which is probably better anyways, because I think he has football practice on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I think.
Is his birthday tomorrow?
No, it was yesterday.
Yesterday?
Yeah, that's why I didn't do the paranormal talk last night.
Oh, okay. Well, happy birthday.
Yeah, he turned 13. He's an official teenager.
13. Oh, yeah, 13.
Yeah.
That's where in one religion you become bar mitzvah. They have a bar mitzvah. I just want to act like sometimes I was certain, things just so I would have birthday parties that were big and extravagant.
I should have asked him. I don't think he does because he used to see spirit a lot. All my children did. He did a lot when he was a kid, and I don't think he does anymore. But it's probably because he's at that age,
Yeah. Well, like I said, my second one, he has that. My daughter gets like the superstition, all that stuff, but he has that. But he won't. He won't talk about it.
Yeah.
Now.
And I think I said all my children, I think all of them have had experiences except for my son who's on the spectrum. I don't think he ever did. He said he thinks he did once when he was younger, but he's not sure.
It's like hereditary. My grandmother was like that. My dad was like that. My great grandmother.
I don't know if my grandparents were, because when I was growing up, that was hush hush. People didn't talk about stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even know. They didn't, like I said, they didn't talk about stuff like that.
Especially your father, he didn't believe in it.
No, my father did not believe in it at all. And he
maybe
was a
you can
minister.
Dive into that on trying to figure out your generation and different things on that side of the family.
I don't know.
If you wanted to, but if it's too much, don't. I'm just saying, like a genealogy thing, even on your mom's side of the family. I did one on my dad's side of the family, and then there was one done on my mom's.
Yeah. I know, like we have, I haven't done it. I want to, but I know my mother has and her sisters have checked her genealogy and stuff.
I want to do that. That's the kit thing, right?
They did. I think they did Ancestry.
How much is that?
There's different tier, different levels. So I know my aunts did the higher one, where connected them with distant cousins that they're related to. So we have a lot. I think was it Michigan or something.
Awesome.
Yeah, and the part of the reason why we did it is because the reason why I want to do it is we know we have Native American in our family, which it showed up in there. But the thing is, I ended up having I was meditating one day at church, and it wasn't even about this. This just happened. We do sometimes at church, whatever our service is about. Sometimes we'll do guided meditation to help you connect, or whatever it is with, whatever it is that you need to connect with. So anyhow, during the meditation, that had nothing to do with what they are talking about, and I'm going on my own little thing. I had a Native American guy come up to me who was dressed in like our kind of clothing, like he wasn't dressed Native or anything. And but he did have a top hat on, kind of like Abraham Lincoln, with a big long feather in the back of it, and it was
Oh,
brown,
wow.
like white specks on it. But he said that you get your gifts from me, and he's like, you get your gifts from me, and he said what his name was, he said what tribe he was in, but it was a really big long name. It was like a bunch of names together, like saying I belong to this tribe and this, like that broke it down. Like
I knew
I
an
know it was
Indian
like
that wore a hat like that.
he really pronounced it. And then
Algonquin.
yeah, I know that was part of it. And then then he broke down like what the area it was from in that name.
Oh
But
my gosh.
it was so big. I was at church. I couldn't write it down. So by the time I got home, I couldn't really remember it all. So I tried doing research and I really couldn't find anything. But about what that tried, whatever connected. But that was quite a few years ago.
There was a famous Indian that actually would wear a top hat and a feather out of it. The top hat, I think, was taken, that time and period from someone, but I can't remember what it was I saw it on. So that could be that person that came to you.
Maybe, but I think that was the style back then anyways.
Yeah.
And I think the reason why he showed it to me the way he was dressed, because all right, so he had like blue jeans on, I think. I think he had blue. I remember mostly what he was wearing on the top half. He had like a flannel shirt on, but with like if you wear a dress suit, that jacket,
Yeah.
So like a dress suit jacket, and it wasn't newer. It was kind of worn, not ratty, but worn, and with the hat and stuff. And I think he was trying to show me his his status, like that was him being dressed up. That wouldn't be considered dressed up today, but in that time, he was like trying to show me his status, and actually kind of looked like my uncle.
Well, then that's probably live right there.
Yeah.
Kind of look like
anyhow. So then I'm like, now, and the thing is, my uncle looks 100% Native American. He does. When he has long hair, he does anyways. So, but anyways, there's a picture of my great grandfather on my mother's refrigerator with my great grandmother. She was an immigrant from Ireland, but my uncle that's in the picture looks exactly, my great grandfather's in the picture looks exactly like my uncle also. And but he doesn't look Native American. So I don't know what side of the family that is. You know what I'm saying? So I've been trying to narrow it down.
It's strange with generations looking alike, because my uncle Greg that died, him and my dad looked alike, and both of my sons favored my uncle Greg that died and my father that died. So it's like weird how they favor people in your family.
Yeah. I don't think I think I look more like my father on my father's side. I don't know. They all have different looks, so I do. I think I look more like my dad. Except he looks like Colonel Sanders now. He has white hair, He looks just like Colonel Sanders.
See, I think I look like my dad, and I'll say I look like my dad, and my mom gets mad about it, and she's like, "Why do you say that?" I was like, "Because I don't."
Oh, Jay, you can come up. I'm sorry, I just seen that. Let me post the link again. When I'm talking to somebody, I have a bad habit of not paying attention to the chat. So if I don't notice anything, you might have to repeat it again. So don't think I'm ignoring you on purpose.
Yeah, I don't know how anybody can talk and then do the chat and all that.
I think that if I'm looking down at the chat the whole time to read it, I feel like I'm being disrespectful to the person that's talking. I don't want them to think I'm ignoring them. You know what I mean? So I try to pay attention.
You're a sweetheart.
Thank you. Hey, Jay, how are you?
I'm great, thanks. How are you?
Good. I want to hear about why you look underneath your car.
All right, okay. That's just because I'm afraid that there's an explosive planted under there.
Oh, it's not
because
paranormal?
because it's not paranormal. No, it's because it's an island a lot of the time. There can be undercar booby trap bombs, and occasionally they'll put it under their own car, thinking like you're a police officer or army or whatever. So I just always check, you know what I mean? Because I get worried.
No, understandable, because I always hear about things like that happening in, well, either in the movies or not in America. So you don't hear
Yeah.
about that happening, but you hear about
It
it
used to
happening other
happen
places.
very often in the 60s and 70s in New York, and undercar booby trap bombs, because it would be
Oh,
men with that type of background, like Irish people, gangsters. They would use that a lot
yeah.
because it's simple. You don't have to walk up and risk being identified. You can put it under the car over the night. They switch it on in the morning, engine turns on, and bang. You know, you don't even have to be there. So that's
I'm
why it was
Irish
used a lot.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know.
I think we all are.
Yeah, I think like a lot of us are.
I've
I have
got
a
a
little bit of
tattoo of a
Irish,
shamrock.
and I know I have Scottish in me too.
Yeah, I do.
Actually, I'm
I'm
a mix of
Scottish too.
everything.
I think we're mixed with everything because I also have Indian in me too.
Yeah.
That's nice. I don't have any
Really
Native
do. Like,
American.
I can't say like I'm Native American, but it's so far back distance. Like you're not gonna
Yeah.
say. I can't stand when people
I
do
don't
that.
have
Oh,
any.
I got Native American me. Yeah, how many generations back was that?
Like Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah.
Like Elizabeth Warren who
related.
claimed.
Yeah.
I'm related to this guy that was the tallest and the biggest man in the Civil War, and his name was Big Dave Van Buskirk. And like in Bloomington, they have like this big thing on the wall and telling a story. But he would show himself and put himself on display on how big he was for rations for food. He would exchange
Really?
food and different things. Yeah. His name's Big Dave Van Buskirk. And he's
cool.
like buried in another town, but it was kind of cool because my son did reports on it and stuff. He was very much
That's nice.
into his his family's history and all that.
Yeah, I am as well. I mean, like, I've got a relative who fought in the Civil War, you know what I mean, for the Confederacy. So that's the type of stretch I have, because it's like from being from like Ireland, Scotland, and France. You know, all those people, they tend to immigrate all over the world. So my family has been involved in some quite significant historical events.
I'm telling you, I want to go back to Gettysburg and do something, you know, and bring it to you guys. Gettysburg is
on the battlefield.
Oh, I bet you are over flooded, Iris, when you walk there. I bet you're just over.
Yeah,
like
we got so much evidence too. And you know what? A lot of it we got was in like the Jenny, like I was saying it before, like in the Jenny Wade's house and stuff, because those places that you go to, like Jenny Wade's house and a place across the street, which I don't think they do it anymore. It used to be an orphanage. They have, it's a small fee too. Like in the evening time, you can per person you can pay. So a group would pay to go in there for a small fee for each person and do an investigation there for the night. You know,
that's amazing.
Anybody could do it. And I think, well, we brought our own equipment, but I think they even had like equipment that you could use and stuff too.
I know it's a bit unrelated, but it is to do with the paranormal and spiritual. But I want to ask your guys' opinion. Do you believe that we have ever had dragons?
Yeah.
I do. And I believe that
I think that's what dinosaurs are.
Yeah, I believe that they were supernatural in nature. I think the dragons we had flying, and I think they were of spiritual nature, and I think they'll only come back. And I think they were misunderstood at the time in medieval days and slaughtered. But I think they were really there to protect us, and protect the land and nature, and protect the balance of nature. And I think they'll only ever come back once we, as a world, become more unified spiritually. You know what I mean? And more spiritually aware. I think then they'll come back, because I really do believe that they're real.
Yes, yeah. I really do think that they are, and I really do think they were a part of the dinosaur, because they used to think, I mean, now scientists know that we lived at the same time as dinosaurs did, but they used to think that was dinosaurs, then humans. But now they're realizing that we did live amongst each other, that humans are been around longer.
Yeah, exactly.
I really do think. Yeah, I really do think a lot of that is because we lived alongside of them.
Exactly.
So
you used to say if you didn't survive, because the crocodiles and crocodiles, then they'll survive. lived. It's still there.
Yeah. Birds too. Birds are supposed to be descendants of dinosaurs.
Yeah.
They're reptiles.
Yeah.
I love my
Yeah.
reptiles.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. So I do think it's actually possible.
Mm.
Mm.
You know?
I'm just in this game at the moment. It's all like fantasy RPG, like role playing game
Did you
mixed in with like. Sorry.
I really have come to the point, and this is why I say don't judge anybody, because even though if I haven't personally experienced it, I can't say because I haven't experienced it that it's not true. But I've evolved enough to know that things I used to think weren't true, I know are now true. You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
I think, but I do think I think everything that people think of, like say like dragons or like elves or whatever, you know what I'm saying, that there's some truth behind every single story, just that they've gotten evolved throughout time. So I think all that stuff has potential being true, just got muddied down and turned into fantasy and turned into this and that because storytellers, you know, go around through the countryside telling stories that got twisted a little bit each time. And it ends up turning into a fantasy instead of an actual story.
That's like a tradition I wish to bring back, like the folk storyteller. That was very big in Ireland, where like you'd have a guy in the pub who was a storyteller.
We do have somebody comes to our church once in a while because we have service on Sundays, but sometimes we'll just have a speaker come in, and one of them is a storyteller.
That's amazing. Like a local folklore guy. Like talks about the local folklore and tales of around the area. That's amazing. That's like that needs to be brought back. I mean, I always see myself somewhat of a folk mystic. You know what I mean? Traveling around, meeting new people, different people. You know, and getting into adventures.
Absolutely. Oh, Tiffany says my son tells me that our world isn't as fun as other worlds. I'm going to have to agree with him. He is still at the age where the veil is thin, and I think kids can't see those other worlds.
Oh, definitely, Tiff. Definitely, Tiff.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I completely believe that. I believe that. I mean, I'm not going to talk into my religion or get into it. So our Beltane's coming up, you know, this weekend. You know, like a lot of people are here, like with a maypole and dancing around a maypole and stuff like that. But which is a phallic symbolization, by the way. But the thing is like we talk about Halloween or Samhain as being a time that the veil's thinnest, and the reason why people would dress up as monsters and stuff, it was because they're afraid of evil spirits coming through. So if they dress like them, they figure they can hide it. Same thing with they make jack-o'-lanterns. In America, they're pumpkins, but other cultures are gourds and stuff that they would faces into them and put them outside. So when this veil was thinnest, so if spirits came by, they would not stop at the door because you know it's super.
Like in Mexico, they do the Day of the Dead, and that's you make like a little sugar.
Yeah, exactly. So my whole point is that Beltane is exactly 6 months from Samhain, where we think the veil is thinnest, which I think is that lasts all winter anyways. But that's because our minds calm down, so we're a little more open and see a little bit more in the winter if you ever pay attention. But anyhow, so it also happens in May too. The veil's thinnest, and at the 1st of May, because it's complete opposite.
I always thought like at the end of summer, like late August, early September. Like that time, the changing of the seasons. It
does.
You know,
because when I quiets down, it goes asleep, and because of hustle and bustle of everyday life, we're able to pay attention better. It's more enhanced.
Yeah, I was. Oh, Tony's just dropped down. I'm sure she'll be back. She has like internet problems. Yeah, I was like in Shropshire during that time, which is like a really big. Basically, like if you ever go to England, you got to go to Shropshire. That's the place for you. That is the place for you. You'd love it there. It's like really rural. And like it's really old fashioned as well, and there's like full of crystal shops, and like everyone's really spiritualistic around there. It's amazing.
Oh, I would love to go there. You know where I always wanted to go is go somewhere out there and go where they say people will see fairies. And I know the fairies over there are different from the fairies around here, because around here we think of Tinkerbell as fairies, but they say like over there, like the sprites and stuff are a little are like, they're tricksters. They could be a little fresh. And
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So I've always wanted to go somewhere where they say that there's the Fae.
Yeah, I call them the gentry. That's what they get known as around here, or where I grew up. They get known as the gentry, and I forget where I am sometimes. And they're known as the gentry, and I left a cigarette out for them. I always leave cigarettes for them as good as it brings me good luck, because that's usually the areas I go, usually the areas where they're supposed to be living. So I don't want to be like stepping on in their business without leaving a little thank you for letting me in and not hassling me type of thing.
Exactly. No, you got to leave offerings for them. At our church, we have a little fairy garden, and we leave offerings for them to protect our land. Because they sweet and they'll help us, but they're also tricksters too. Yeah. So I have so there's this lady that I know. She sings folk music and she plays the harp beautiful. She has a beautiful voice, and she plays the harp and stuff. But when her daughter's an adult now, but when her daughter was little, she noticed her daughter was always at the edge of the yard near the woods, always talking to somebody. And she was telling her mom, because they're like, well, who are you talking to over there? Because you don't see her talking to anybody. She's like the fairies, And so her daughter started telling them different words, and she said that was in fairy language, and they started writing them down.
That's insane. That's so
but I guess
cool.
Now that she's older, she doesn't really see them anymore, of course, because she's older. But that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I mean, when I was younger, I used to have this. Do you want me to say, I only realized this a couple of years back that this actually happened. But I had this dream, when I was in 4 or 5, of being in this manor house with a bunch of elitist types, and there was this bearded man, and he said, "You're in it now. You're in it for life." And I just remember that. And years later, the guy who it was is the guy who started my branch of Satanism, shall we say. That's the guy. And he was living at that point. And if you understand our beliefs, he had transcended his own reality. He's already beyond life and death as we know it. So by that extent, he has a degree of spiritual power where he's ingratiated himself with the gods. And when he departs this world, he will be rewarded with a living presence in their world. And to most people, that existence may seem very scary, but to some people like us, we see it as a blessing, you know what I mean? And it's all about how you look at it, and we see it as beauty and all that. But to me, I'm just a novice as far as this goes. You've got to really do it for 30 years to really get to that point, and I know that. And the sad thing is, a lot of these young lads who start it, they get antsy, they get restless, and they want it all now, instant gratification, and that's why people go mad and do crazy stuff. But David Meyer, the guy who I'm on about, he was an example of someone who took his time and was very balanced and very open about what he was doing, and he'd even challenged people who've slandered him before, when people were making accusations that he was sacrificing animals, which is exactly the last thing he'd ever do, because he loves animals. He's a big animal guy. He challenged the journalist who said it, to a deal to the death with swords. That's the type of guy. He's a guy who lives in a different time. That's what we aim to be. We aim to revive that time where society was built upon honor and not upon how much money you have in your back pocket. And we say honors the law for the men who women who don't see the need to look to our governmental laws. You know what I mean? We follow our own laws because we know that it's our own morality that makes us a good person. And if you took away the law and the government today, we won't change. I wouldn't change, and I know you wouldn't change. It's not the laws that make us who we are. Don't make us moral.
No, it's your own morals.
Exactly. It's us. It's
which is actually
us.
harder than rules that man puts out, because you have to own up and take responsibility for your own actions.
That's why I'm somewhat of an anarchist, because I don't believe that You know, and they say, what about if evil people take over? Says, well, I always believe it's just nature. If you screw over enough people, eventually you're going to get screwed yourself. And it can only happen as it's the laws of nature, you know, and balance always prevails, you know. And if you're too extreme one way or the other, it's going to catch up with you, and you're not going to be able to sustain a happy and productive life.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I want to read what Bling wrote.
Yeah.
I do not want to meet a fairy. I feel like they would hide one of each of my shoes or something. I'll appreciate them from afar. Honestly, that is true, Bling. Okay, so we have this thing that I notice if I'm not watering my plants properly, they'll hide stuff in your house. You ever go, because we'll always say that either spirit or the fae, they're tricksters. So you leave them out offerings and stuff. And
Tiffany said to leave them shoes.
Leave them shoes.
So they have their own.
Yeah, there you go. But so a lot of times, if you ever like say, I know for a fact I put my keys on the countertop. I know for a fact I left them here. And you're looking all over the damn house for your damn keys that you know where you put them. And you're looking. And then you go back later and those keys are exactly where you've seen it. They say that they put like a veil over them to be tricksters so you don't notice them. And then hours later, you know exactly where you had them and they were there in that spot.
Yeah, you know when I was like, I kept losing my lighter at one point, and I believe it may be my dead grandfather who's doing it because he died of a smoker's related death, and he doesn't want the same for me, so he's trying to hide my lighter to stop me from smoking.
Yep. Absolutely. I believe in that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think they do. I always notice when I'm not good about watering my plants. I had this one plant for over 15 years, like spider plant. It was big. It was beautiful. I took really good care of it. And then when life got busy, I forgot to water my plants. So now I'm not working again. I'm trying to bring all my plants back to life again. And that plant I had for 15 years ended up dying. It's a spider plant. Those things are almost impossible to kill. So you know I was really neglecting it. Yeah. But so now I'm starting all over again. And I'm like, I need to put some offerings out there and apologize. I promise to do good. So if y'all want to know, want to leave offerings for a fairy day, like anything shiny, milk, honey, and oats.
Yeah, they love coins, don't
they? Never take except a gift from the fae. Because then they think you owe them.
Oh.
Exactly.
Bling told Tiffany, now shopping for fairy shoes is something I can handle.
In my cabinet, in my dining room, it's not really dining room. It's my craft area, really. But I do have a cabinet in there. And in the cabinet, I have one section of just fairy stuff. A friend of mine makes like fairy houses, and I would go to like General Dollar and buy little fairy things and put in there. And, you know, so I have my little fairy section.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't been doing too much of my rituals recently because I think that I have been doing like little, like not the full going out in the woods, like all of it, because I reckon that I'm just having a little ceasefire, almost a little bit of a peace to balance it, because I'm through a trauma, like losing my last girlfriend, not the one I have now, and like, I don't know. I don't want to bring that into it. I want to go in with it like feeling strong, like with a clear head, because it's a certain feeling that I have to have going into it. Otherwise, I don't have the type of a
yeah, especially if you're going in. Yeah, I mean, you're going into a new relationship. Yeah. You don't want to bring your old baggage in with you. You know?
Exactly, and I don't want to like. Yeah, and I want to balance it out, because I don't want because when I go in and do those rituals like that, I bring the negativity back with me. But the point I see of doing them is to leave it there, to cast it out of me, and so I can go around my normal day to day without having it hanging over my head. You know what I mean? Yeah. In the past, I haven't been mature enough to do that, and I'm sure and I know the gods aren't, and because they'd rather have me doing it and being productive and not flying off the handle and getting myself in trouble, because then what use am I to them?
Yeah, no, that absolutely makes sense.
Yeah, it's like, I think it's important as well, because like in this stuff you can easily lose yourself, and like David Myett's wife you know, she committed suicide because she couldn't handle it anymore because it was just so full on. And that's just the tragedy of it all. And it's like, even,
that's horrible.
you know, yeah, the big up people it can happen to people, anyone, you know. So it's like, I see that as a need to balance it out and take it easy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's in his. He was born in 1945, I think, and at the moment he's kind of takes a back seat from the day-to-day activity of the ONA, of the Order of Nine Angles, and he nowadays it's not run by anyone. It's never been run by anyone because it's very you know, what's the word, clandestine. So it's on you to kind of organize your own stuff. I've never gotten any direction from anyone claiming, you know, to represent a leadership of any kind. And it says in the books that never is going to be a leadership, and there never will be, because by its definition the gods are the leaders, you know what I mean? So we are all children compared to them, so we can't say, oh, I'm the leader, because you would be taken away from what it's really about. You know, it's not a dictatorship, it's not a cult, you know what I mean? It's a free thing, you know. It's like, take it all, you know, there's no membership fees, there's no place to go, but we're all unified in our pursuits. You know, there's differences, there's subgroups, and there's divisions, there's feuds, by God, but you know, I think ultimately when it comes down to it, we're all in it for the same reason, to make the presence of the gods more known on earth, and so that people can see the things that we can gain and learn from it, instead of you know, be devolved by it, or, you know, turned mad by it, you know what I mean? And I like laying out an approach for people to go into magic, but do it in a safe, kind of as safe as possible. It's never safe, but as safe as possible way where you could do it and hopefully not lose your mind and remember who you are.
Yeah,
because it's easy for it to just take over your life because it's such a big rabbit hole, you know.
absolutely. That's why there's balance too, though.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm all about. I'm all about that.
Oh, I just clicked on Tiffany's thing on my phone thinking it was, I don't even know what pound stuff here. I wanted to see what Tiffany wrote. Oh, they're talking about a song reference. I know that the manager of the grocery department at Walmart during the pandemic. I haven't been in the store since I quit. I've never seen such a vile behavior. I'll shop online. Oh, they must be talking about something else.
Yeah,
that's okay.
I think when I start talking about that stuff, it goes over people's heads, because I don't expect people to you know, understand it in any way, because I guess you kind of have to do it, you know what I mean, to understand it. But I'm open to the idea of recording one of my rituals and putting it out there so that people know that I'm not hiding anything, that there's nothing you know, disturbing about what I'm doing. I'm just, you know, burning sage and I'm chanting in ancient Greek. You know, I'm not hurting anyone or anything. I'm not engaging in anything. You know, so it's just a pretty normal thing.
Yeah, you should.
Garden Heroes here.
So maybe it'll explain what your belief is. You know what I'm saying? You know, you got your own channel, do a whole thing apart on that, so people will maybe understand what your belief system is.
Because I'm a lot more open and talkative about it. Like, I don't use names of people whose names aren't already out there. Let's just say, and I don't give away specifics of things that I've done or been involved with. But I'm a lot more open to talking about it and admitting that I'm involved with it than a lot of other people are. Most people would deny it because there's like a lot of bad press that we've gotten, because there have been people who've come into the organization who have, you know, misused it and abused it to commit atrocities. And, you know, those people are just as much my enemies, if not more so, than they are the general public. You know, these people, I don't recognize them as being part of what I'm about. They're frauds as far as I'm concerned. It's like with Christianity, Judaism, Islam. There's people who come in and manipulate it and abuse it, to fit their own evil purposes, and that's not on the scripture itself. It's on that own individual who has come into it with that intent to warp it and pervert it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know anything too much about your religion, but I just know that I live in love and light, as above, so below here on earth. And that's just the rule I live by.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Ironically, my chant is asking my dark mother to be my shield against the light. But
oh wow,
saying that in ancient Greek, and it's crazy that I can actually speak it. You know, I guess it just shows what you can do if you put your mind to something.
Yeah. Actually, I forgot. I said I have a recommendation of a book I think you might like, and well, I forgot to send it to you, so that reminded me to send it to you. I think it's something you'll be interested in.
Yeah, definitely. Tiffany says her husband walked in on her rituals and steps back slowly and closes the door. Well, not similar to mine. Well, when I was in the woods, there was an old woman. I didn't see her, but I could sense that it was an old woman walking past whilst I was doing these chants, and I must have absolutely terrified her as I was doing the chant, because it gets to the point where I sound animalistic when I'm like not a human when I'm doing this chanting, because it's so otherworldly, the language, and such a dead language. It's like no one's ever heard of it. Anyone speaking that, and it's just, I don't mean to. Well, when I'm in that, I wish I could just get out of it and say, look, nothing to fear. But once I'm in there, I'm in the zone. I can't get out.
Oh wow. No, I never did anything like that or experienced that, but maybe we could talk about it privately so I can understand better, you know?
Yeah, sure. There's lots of there's PDF files available. All of our literature is available for free online. That's the point. A point was made to do that, so that no matter what background you come from, you can access it. You don't need to pay loads of money. You can buy the paperback books though on Amazon. Order of Nine Angles, The Sinister Tradition is a good one, and there's another one called Sinister Tales, which is probably, even though it's not on rituals and information on rituals, I love it for what it is. It's like a bunch of sinister fictional stories which use it's like injected with the message of the ONA, so you read it and then you understand where it's coming from. You know, you understand sinisterism a lot better. Like the Annabelle doll, for example, the reason why it's such a benign looking Raggedy Ann doll and not the thing that it's shown as in the films, or that creepy porcelain one, you know, why it looks so benign and normal, is because in reality the most evil of people are benign and normal. Look at Ted Bundy, all-American guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you never would have expected that.
He never looked like a serial killer. Never looked like a monster. He looked like everyone's best friend, everyone's brother, you know, neighbor. And that's what I'm on about. You understand sinisterism. It isn't going to come and slap you in the face and get you when you least expect it and lull you into a false sense of security. Yeah. Yeah. So that's helped me understand that a lot more and things like that. And my opinion on the Annabelle doll is that my goddess Baphomet uses it as a conduit, and that in the dark world they love having these dolls and making these dolls because it's an easy access to children's energy force. That what we were talking about earlier, how the veil's more open to them. They love that, and they use that energy to presence themselves in this earth. It's something that they add their energy mixed in with that energy. That opens a portal, enables them to come through stronger and easier. And it's kids who they love it of the most, you know, because they're so young and they're so fresh coming into this realm. That's why it's so. And they have these dolls around and they put in places and things like that so that they can harness this energy. Yeah. I
don't really know much about it.
Yeah.
Actually, I do want to talk to you about it privately because I don't want to scare people in here.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, sure.
You know what I'm saying? What?
She should have posted that.
Oh.
Bling.
Bling said that's very true. All Christian religions have changed so many times to fit modern day cultures that none of them are truth anymore. But but Christian, but don't believe in organized religion. I understand where Blink's coming from when she says that. So
Yeah.
I don't think Christianity and religion belong. Actually, I truly believe all religions are correctly, and we all have the same goal at the end of it. Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
So, but I do think, like, I remember I said how storytellers of different versions got passed down, and it was running down. And what happened is, like, you have many different versions of the Bible. It's not that any of them are really wrong. What happened is that every time a king would get into office, it wasn't called office then, they would change it to their version that would fit them at that time.
In the throne, yeah.
Yeah, I think we should bring back the original, much of the original that we can, so that we can base that on that. It's because it did kind of get muddied. But it's not saying anything about Christianity, because that's a beautiful religion too, and most of them are beautiful and peaceful people.
I
just
agree.
think that we need to bring back some of the old ways back, and that's even Christianity too, because it got changed from different culture, different time periods. As people trying to relate the writings in it, and they misinterpreted different words, and so people think it means one thing and when it means something else. And so I wish they would fix all that, so then everybody gets on the same page, But I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the Bible, because I really don't think so.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that pieces of the Bible have been taken out and words have been changed. Actually, a good part of the Bible is missing nowadays.
What I think is, it's like they're now in a position where they're not in control of everything, so they feel as if they have to take this nice approach, this lackadaisical and reformist approach to actually save their own religion, which is very true, and I understand why they're doing that. But it's like, I just wish people would, like, there would be some, like, memorial or, like, acknowledgement of what they have done, to, like, women and minority of men and children, during that time where
but that's all religions, though. All religions have done.
That happened. And
in their name,
the Spanish Inquisition
throughout time. Doesn't matter what religion you are. I think that's happening in all faith beliefs.
And I agree. There have been people from our side who have murdered innocent Christians, and I'm completely condemn that. That's atrocious type of activity. It's not going to bring the presence of that. It's not going to bring the ideas I want forward. Let's just say that. It's just counter productive.
All of us people have evolved. You know what I'm saying? We've all evolved into better people. A lot of people all ended up living off of superstition. You know what I'm saying? Like back in the day, so they were afraid of a lot of things because they weren't as evolved. Like we know better now. So I think a lot of the fears and a lot of the tradition that got passed on too has to do with fear. But like I said, if you boil it all down, it's a beautiful religion, a beautiful practice. I just think that a lot of the things twisted and got turned because of whatever king happened to be, at that time, superstition. But that's what I'm saying. Like Christians did bad things, pagans did bad things, and you know what I'm saying. Like everybody in the history have done bad things. Like they say, pagans used to sacrifice people. Well, yeah, so did Christians.
Definitely.
Thousands of years ago. Now it's because of superstition. Like nobody does that nowadays. Like we know better. That was all religions used to do that stuff.
In my case, it's like I'm sacrificing like myself, like my life is a sacrifice, because I give to other people, I do for other people. So I feel like that's my sacrifice, you know what I mean? So I don't need to harm anyone or like myself. It's just, I feel it's sacrifice is misinterpreted sometimes.
Yes. Yeah. But anyways, let's change the subject. I don't want people like getting the wrong impression. Like, what the hell is going on in here?
Yeah, because exactly. Because they say it enough about you, and they said it about Bonnie and me, and it happens. But I'm sure, like we all know, and everyone in the chat knows what we're about.
Yeah.
So, like, what else do you want to talk about? Anything?
Well, I just noticed I've been on here a little over 2 hours, so I should probably get off right now.
Okay.
So, but next week, all right. So tomorrow I have I just want to mention that around this time when I started today, I'll be doing the oracle reading, spiritual ones. And next week, next Tuesday, I'm going to go back to doing the the evening, the paranormal talk, and probably do it Wednesday too, and have 2 different talks about it. But I have a few different things. So if you guys have suggestions of different things we could look up or have discussions about that I could do some search on, email me. So, and then we can work together as a community. And then if I can let you guys know ahead of time, then we all can like get together in conversation.
Sounds great.
Things. Yeah, let's open the doors to some different things,
Yeah.
Because I wrote down a couple that people said last week. Actually, I think one of them might have been what you said too. I don't really remember. I have it written down. So there's a couple things I want to look up, but I know one of them I want to get a hold of my friend because what she has is very cool and you guys will love it and maybe be creeped out, but it's very cool. And it's like something you would see on TV type of deal. So anyhow, so I want to have her come in there and talk about some of her experiences in this item that she has that's haunted. And I know we talked about oh sure, I forgot what it is, but something that we were going to look up to have some, get a better planning on the shows, and then at the end we can leave open for discussion and have people come up.
That sounds great. Thank you for having me up, and thanks for
no problem,
so nice in the chat.
Yeah,
have a great day, everyone.
It reminds me to email you that.
Thanks. Thanks. No rush. No rush.
Hold on. I like to be around all different religions, and I love to know more. Okay, Blaine, email me, honey.
Yeah, anyone can email me.
Yes. Yeah.
CalvinWarren56@gmail.com.
Yeah, make sure you put it in chat.
Well, see ya. Thank you, everyone.
All right. Have a good day, Jay.
Bye. Thank you.
So thank you guys for joining me. I hope you guys like those. I just think finding those little ghost videos that actually was put on the news stations was very cool because that's rare. Okay, so and those seem more realistic. You know which one I was trying to find that I couldn't remember? It was in somebody had a car accident that passed away, and it was in a car lot, and the video footage caught their spirit like going around that car. I don't remember exactly because it's been a few years since I seen it. But I really was trying to find that one for you guys to see because I always thought that was very intriguing. So I don't know so let me know if you guys like that kind of things and what kind of different paranormal stuff you guys would like to talk about or explore. I really like the one that we did last week with Lizzie Borden. Like it's talk about a haunting because the place is haunted because of it's a murder mystery that happened there too. And that's really intriguing to, So I would like to talk about that. Oh, what's the other one I was thinking about? Oh, sugar. I should probably write it down. What the hell is H.A. Holmes? Is that his name? And the hotel thing he made and maybe torture rooms, and now they say it's haunted, and some people say that he was Jack the Ripper, and so I think that would be a really cool discussion too about that. So anyways, I hope you guys have a beautiful day, and thank you for everybody that stayed on here. If you would like to, please give me a thumbs up and hit the little bell so you can get notified the next time that I'm on. And please help me get my name out there so I can get the 500 subscribers. I would really, 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 really would love to have a community page so we can communicate more with each other. Oh, thank you, Tatted Chip. I hope you guys have a beautiful day or a beautiful evening. I know some of you guys, it's nighttime. Holmes. Yeah, H.H. Holmes. Did I say H.A. Holmes? I think I did. H.H. Holmes. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Nessie. I think that would be a cool one to do. There's a lot of information about H.H. Holmes. And some people do think he was the Jack the Ripper because of the time frame, like when the Jack the Ripper things, I think, ended, and then H.H. Holmes started over here. So a lot of people have a theory that that might be one and the same. Yeah, that's a real scary dude. That is creepy as hell. Very, very creepy and scary. It is. So anyways, have a beautiful day. I'll see a lot of you guys tomorrow. And my mom's phone's ringing again. I'll see a lot of you guys. Oh, hi, September. I didn't see you before. How you doing? How you guys doing? So I hope you guys have a beautiful day. I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. And start getting a list and email me of different stories, different things. I'll start putting stuff together. So then maybe we can do a couple in one live. All right. Thank you, guys. Love you all. Was supposed to be live.